Hey everyone, it's Sheniel from Ricoma. Today I have a super special episode of Print Pros for you, all about DTF, also known as direct-to-film printing. Direct-to-film is the newest craze in custom apparel for obvious reasons that I'll go over with you in just a bit. Not only is DTF a super simple process like heat transfer, but it also produces incredible results. And best of all, this process can be done right on your RICOH DTG printer. So if you're excited to see just how this process is done and a close-up of a garment using this technique, then give this video a huge like and make sure you're following our channel for more content on the latest and greatest custom apparel techniques. Alright, enough talk, now follow me. So I'm here with our RICOH DTG printer, the RI1000. To learn more about this printer or the RI2000 version, then click on the card above or check out the description below. So you're probably wondering, how exactly can you do DTF on a DTG printer? Well, the process is actually super simple. In fact, I'll show you how it's done on this black cotton t-shirt. But before I get started, I should mention that since DTF involves transferring an image with the help of a heat press, you can use any material type or color, not just 100% cotton. The main difference between DTG and DTF is that DTG, or direct-to-garment, is when ink is sprayed directly on the garment with a DTG printer. For designs on black garments, the DTG machine first sprays a layer of white ink and then the colored ink on top so that the colors really pop. DTF printing, on the other hand, uses a combination of ink, film paper, and powder. DTF is typically a process only reserved for special DTF printers, until now. In just a minute, I'll show you how exactly you can achieve this process directly on a RICOH DTG printer. But before I start, it's important to note that since you're able to do DTF on your DTG printer, that you're able to create designs as large as a DTG platen, which is a whopping 16 by 20 inches. With other processes that use smaller printers, you would need to print two separate designs and then align them on your garment to achieve large prints. So without further ado, let me show you exactly how this process is done. Let's go. Alrighty you guys, as we all know, every project starts with a design, so I'm going to show you guys how to set your settings for your DTF design. It's super exciting because you actually don't need to purchase any additional software. With your DTG software, you're able to do DTF, and I'm going to show you guys just how to do it. Now, we double click on the file, and this tab is going to show up. Now what we're going to do is that we're going to go to color. As you can see, you have the media tab. You are going to select DTF RI1000 black garment. So the reason why we are choosing the setting, which is DTF black garment, is because the final product will be placed on a black garment and we want to make sure we have that white underlay. Now as you guys can see, I picked DTF black garment and automatically ink and meta mode configures itself to the way it's supposed to be. Now we're going to go to advanced settings, and as you can see, this tab pops up. We're going to go to color correction and we're going to set the white output to 80%. You can do this by either clicking on the output section and putting in 80%, or you can move the bold line down. I'm going to move the bold line down until it gets to around 80%. Keep in mind, if you can't get it to exactly 80%, it's alright. As long as you have it between 80% and 85%, you're all good. Now that we have the color correction settings completed, we're going to go to the print mode tab. When you go to the layer section, as you can see, we have color to white. What this means is basically with DTF, you have your transfer sheet, then it prints down the color, and then on top goes the white layer. Alrighty, now that we went over the layer section, we're going to move on over to the special color section, and we're going to go down to where we can adjust the brightness. Now we're going to set the minimum brightness to 20 and the choke to -5. These numbers can range depending on your design, you just kind of have to play around with it. Alrighty, now that we clicked OK, we're going to have this window open. We're going to make sure to go over to the job key, and then we're going to click on the mirror key. What that does is that it mirrors your image. Mine is already selected, so we're going to go to the RIP tab next. What we do here is that we select Use Document Transparency. And then we're going to make sure we also have selected Enhanced Quality, of course to have enhanced quality. And then we're going to click OK. As you see, my design is already loaded up here, and all we have to do after this is load it onto the USB. Alrighty you guys, now that's that. As you can see, it's super simple and it's actually very fun. I'm going to show you guys exactly how the DTF process is done. Follow me. Alrighty you guys, now we're here with our RICOH RI1000. I already have the design loaded onto my USB and loaded onto my panel. As you can see, I have my owl design ready to print. Now, the difference between DTG and DTF is that we're not going to print directly on the black shirt, we're going to print onto this transfer sheet. Now as you can see, I have my sides taped down. This is to make sure that my transfer sheet does not move around during the printing process. I have my paper matte side up, shiny side down. But also, please make sure to follow the instructions that come with your transfer sheets because every brand could differ. Now we're going to get the printing process started. We're going to select Set. As you can see, we actually have to adjust the height of our panel. We're going to turn the height adjuster towards the left to get rid of this orange square. When the height is correct, it is going to turn gray. Now that the square has turned gray, at this point all we have to do is hit return. Then we click on Set, and it should start printing. Alrighty, now that I've removed my design from the platen, I've placed it down on this plastic tray, and we're going to use DTF powder, also known as direct to film powder. And you want to make sure you cover the whole design, like so. I like to kind of do this with my fingers because it's pretty satisfying the way that the powder falls. You have to make sure that you have every area of your design covered in powder. Even if it looks like too much, it's alright. It's never too much. Alrighty, now once you're done covering your design with the DTF powder, also known as direct to film powder, you are going to kind of shake it around a little bit and make sure you get the powder in all the little crevices and every little part of your design. Once you're done doing that, you are going to drop all the powder off of your sheet. And now what I like to do to kind of clean up the powder around the design is that I like to use either scissors or a brush. I prefer to use scissors because I get to get into the really small spaces in between all the feathers and make the design look super neat. We're going to go ahead and start doing that. Go. It is perfect. It looks beautiful. Now what we're going to do is that we're going to pull out this little platen, place our design gently on it. Now that we've set it down on our platen, what we're going to do is that we're going to hover it under the heat press for 300 seconds at 325 degrees Fahrenheit. Now this could definitely vary, so please make sure to refer back to your instructions for your brand of transfer sheets. Now let's get started. Alrighty, now that we have our adhesive powder melted, as you can see, the texture of the powder, it's not really powder anymore. It looks more like glue and it's nice and shiny. The way to find out when your adhesive powder is correctly melted is when you see that the image is completely shiny all over. It is definitely ready to be transferred onto the garment. Alright, now we are going to gently pick this up and place it over to the side. Now we have our garment. What we're going to do with this is that we're going to press it for about 5 to 10 seconds until we see that all the wrinkles are gone. We do this just to make sure that the design gets transferred on nice and smoothly and there are no, damages to the design because that'll look a little crazy. All right, now what we're going to do is that we're going to place a Teflon sheet on there to keep our garment nice and safe. Slide it in, press it down for about 5 to 10 seconds. Alrighty, now let's see if all our wrinkles are nice and smoothed out. Awesome, my shirt looks beautiful. Now what we're going to do is that we're going to place the design right back on the shirt. Gently picking up your design, we are now going to face it down. We want to make sure to center our design well. unless you want it on the left or right side, that's all up to you. Now that we have our design there, we're going to pick up our Teflon sheet, place it on top, and we're going to put it right back under the heat press for approximately 20 seconds. Alrighty. Now we're going to slide this out, and for the big reveal. Ooh, beautiful. Now, this is a cold peel, so we have to make sure we let it cool down, that way we can peel it off. We're going to set it to the side for approximately 2 minutes. Alrighty, now that our design has cooled down, we're ready to do the cold peel. You want to make sure that you fold the sheet down the way that I'm doing. Make sure you don't pull it away from your t-shirt. That way the design can transfer on nice and smoothly. I like to use a second hand to kind of just push it down while I'm peeling. As you can see, just do a slow peel. Patience is important, especially as we get to the little feathers on my owl's ears. This is looking so beautiful. I'm so excited to see this end result. Alrighty, this is the fun part, the feathers. Don't get intimidated by this process. It can be a little intimidating, but it'll all be all right. Alrighty. There we go. And then a little bit of plastic just kind of stayed on, but the way that you can peel it off is just peeling it off. Like so. Beautiful. If you'd like, you could put the shirt under the heat press for another 5 seconds to make the design even more durable. But keep in mind, you could lose some color saturation by doing so. And there you have it. Now let's get a closer look at the quality and feel. As you can see, the design turned out nice and bright and crisp, similar to both the DTG and two-step heat transfer. However, the quality of the print is really something to note. Sometimes with certain heat transfer methods, like with vinyl, you're able to feel a layer on top of your garment. But with this new direct-to-film method, you can barely feel it at all. Another great quality is the durability of this method. Even with stretching the design, it remains intact. Now let's get an even closer look at the colorful result of the DTF process. I hope you enjoyed watching how to do direct-to-film printing on the RICOH DTG printers. If you have any ideas for future episodes, make sure to write them down in the comments below. For more information about both the RI1000 and the RI2000 DTG printers, make sure to contact us using the link in the description below. Also make sure to follow us on our Facebook group, Embroidery and Custom Apparel Mastery, where we share content just like this daily. We're also on Instagram at Ricoma HQ, and even on TikTok for some more entertaining content. That's it for today, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and test out some more fun designs. Bye, until next time.